Hi there, this is Oluseyi Kaladi, and I'm the creator of the Superstar Self-Love Project. The Superstar Self-Love Project is a bit of self-directed research in which I'm interviewing 100 people from all over the world of different backgrounds, different cultures, different spiritual traditions, people of varying ages, and I'm interviewing them about their self-love journey. I've been in a personal self-love journey for the past 8 years after kind of basically hitting rock bottom and completely changed my life. It's changed my life, it's saved my life, and I want to hear as many different people's stories about their own personal self-love journey. So I've just got off the laptop. I do the interviews via Zoom, which is an amazing free conferencing tool that you can use free if it's just one-to-one, but you have to pay for if you want to record. It's like you can record and talk, and it's a really reliable online conferencing tool. That's Zoom, and it's amazing. And I've just got off the box with a woman called Sandra, who I have been talking on Facebook with for a while. And I think we met through one of the various groups that we're in, and we connected. She's in my Self Love Superstar group, which is a kind of a support group that I started at the beginning of August, and it's a really beautiful group of men and women who share different images and quotes and their own experiences about self-love and kind of like on their journey. It's really beautiful. So basically, I've done 2 interviews over the last 2 days. I did one yesterday with my friend Coco, who is a global nomad, and she is also a yoga instructor. And both of the interviews were so completely different. I met Coco when I was in Bali in April of this year, 2016, and we just like literally I saw her a few times around the yoga barn, and I was just like, oh, I really like her style, but I'm quite shy when it comes to actually going up and introducing myself and meeting people. So I didn't actually go and talk to her until she was with a friend of mine, and we introduced ourselves, and she'd said that she'd seen me walking around as well and wanted to talk to me. So it's kind of like a mutual appreciation society. And her energy, she's just this vibrant, beautiful goddess, and I just feel really blessed to have these amazing people in my life, and for technology that enables us to connect from the other side of the world. It's just absolutely amazing. So that's how I know. So we've got Coco, who I did yesterday, the interview for yesterday, and Sandra, who I did the interview for today. Sandra is a body worker, so she does kind of like self-love practices with her clients, supports them in loving their bodies and using breath work and qigong and different methods to deepen a relationship with themselves. And yeah, again, just the connection with her has just been so beautiful, and her interview was amazing. I've got a few things about each of the interviews. So with Coco, she's like, some of the things that she said was so powerful and resonated so deeply. You know, like we were both in tears at various points during the interview. One of the really big messages that she left us with was to find time in your life to meditate and to leave space. So like for me, like for prayer and meditation. So prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening. And so she really makes time in her day where she's having a conversation with God. You know, she's having a conversation with her higher self to really hear and connect with who she truly is, and her direction and steps. So that was a really beautiful thing, and something that I do myself as part of my self-love practice. And one of the other things that was a little less easy about her interview is that she, for personal reasons, and that are just not anything, but just because of her decision, she's choosing to stay fairly anonymous with the sharing of her name and her website and who she kind of is in regards to the project. So and that posed a slight challenge for me, and like there was part of my ego that was like, oh, I don't know if I can include someone that doesn't want to share openly like who they are on the as part of the project. But actually it's a really beautiful opportunity for growth as well. And so what we're going to do is use a generic photograph of someone posing in a yoga pose that I'm getting off my website, and won't be using her website, like her personal website. I'll be just sharing a little bit about an outline of who she is. So I would like to encourage anyone who doesn't feel particularly comfortable sharing letting the whole world know who they are. If you still want to be part of this project, if you want to share your self-love journey, we don't need to post pictures of you, we don't need to tag you into them. It will just be purely, but we will be using your vocal, like the word, like the recording. The interview will still be recorded, but you'll just get an opportunity to pretty much anonymously share your self-love journey with the world. So if that's something that you want to do, then I can help you, and I will just keep it as very neutral and as necessary. So if you kind of want to share your self-love journey but not be completely identified in who you are for whatever reason, then I will be more than happy to accommodate that. And this is the beauty about this project, is every time I do an interview, like there's something new, something to push me out of my comfort zone, something to help me grow as a person. Like that is, this project is so amazing for so many different ways. Like I'm having to learn so much technology stuff. Like today I realized if I want to put the podcast onto iTunes, I need to know how to set up an RSS feed, whatever that is, and know how to get the coding for that so I can get it onto iTunes and validate the podcast, whatever that means. Like I'm gonna have to get some help with this because I don't know how to do all this techie stuff, but by the end of it I'm gonna be an expert, or I will have paid someone. Like hopefully I'll get some funding at some point and be able to pay people to do that really techie stuff for me, because I just don't have the time or the mental capacity to really learn how to do it, but I probably could if it's something that I really am meant to do. And also like the ID3 tags on the MP3 to make sure that all the information about the recording is like, I didn't know that was something necessary, but I'm having to learn how to do all these things so that so I am offering you, people that are listening to the podcast, excellent, high quality, high value things. And and that's how I do, like 125,000%. That's how I do. So yeah, I had an amazing chat with somebody who I'm going to be interviewing, and there's a really exciting opportunity for me to share this work through her. So that's something really exciting. I'm quite tired, and but yeah, so, and with Sandra's interview, I know this is a bit all over the place, sorry for that, but that's how I do. My brain's just like, oh, and I need to remember that. No. So Sandra's interview was really beautiful. I kind of like really resonated with what she said. Like she shares about how her son is her greatest teacher, and when he, like she teaches him how to like she nurtures his own individuality and she nurtures him to be really in touch with who he is and what he wants, and that's really beautiful. And I just really was so touched with, this is where we break, as we continue on our self-love journey, this is where we're breaking those perpetuated patterns from generations upon generations of, this is how we do, children are there to be seen and not heard. Children should conform to society's standards of norm, and all these things. And it's kind of like, actually, it's time to change that, because obviously with the way society is, it's not fucking working. It's not working. So what is going to work? Self-love is what works. Teaching our children to love themselves. Yes, loving our children and teaching them how beautiful they are, but teaching them that there is more than just this physical body, and that there is something inside of us that is love. Something else that Sandra shared was a tree metaphor, that self-love and doing self-loving practices and processes, we are nurturing our roots, because we are trees, we are trees. And so as the roots are nurtured, we are able to flourish, like the whole of our lives then flourishes, and we grow, and we become more authentic, and we become who we truly are. So the practice of self-love is the nourishing and the fertilizing the roots of who we are, and then the rest of us can blossom and bloom. And I just thought that was so beautiful. That was such a beautiful. And even like she showed afterwards, she showed me like this body posture that is kind of like a power posture that we can use, that she saw in the Amy Cuddy talk about, kind of, and also like apparently when we stand in this posture, we are like the hormones, like the stress hormones are decreased, and the motivation and inspiration hormones like testosterone and oxytocin are increased and able to flow in our body more easily. And when we're like this on our phones and things, then those cortisol and the stress hormones and the things, like it keeps us closed, and it closes our hearts, and it keeps us tight. But when we're open, like our heart is expanded, our body's expanded, and we're big, we're taking up space in this world. And so that is what self-love does for us. Like we have permission to take up space in this world. We have permission to expand our hearts, and the more that we are expanded, the more that we can grow, and our roots are solid, and we have this solid foundation in life. So this is the longest video that I've done, but I am incorporating a lot of things that have gone on over the last couple of days. It's been a big couple of days. I'm having a well-deserved day off tomorrow. I'm just going to sleep and watch Gilmore Girls, because that's my latest love at the moment, and eat good food. In my own self-love practice, I've removed all dairy now. Like I was eating so much butter, and my skin was breaking out, and it was horrible, and I feel like my face is puffy, and that's what happens when I have too much dairy. My body just doesn't like dairy. So I'm committing to the next level of just cutting out dairy, because I just have to admit I can't, like, my body doesn't like it. And my self-love practice is that, I have to listen to my body. I have to listen to what my body wants and what it doesn't want, and also love myself when I am still taking or using or doing these things that I know that I shouldn't be doing, because not because someone else has told me, but because my body doesn't like it, and my spirit is asking me to not do these things, because it's not a loving practice for my physical body. So yeah, I'm just expanded, because this project is fucking awesome, and I can't wait to get the podcast out there for people to listen to all of the different insights and knowledge, and like Sandra said, talked about how she just remembers writing in a test something about that you have to love yourself first when she was a child, and just how amazing would it have been to have just for me personally to have been, to just have that level of self-awareness and that level of self-love as a child. And Coco shared how she was raised to love and honor her body as the temple and as something sacred, and so she respects that body, and those, and kind of like her decisions about relationships and sex and that kind of thing were based on the things that she was taught as a child, and she was raised around lots of very strong women who did little or big, like self-loving practices and things like taking themselves off on a retreat when they needed to recuperate and things like that. So I'm really excited to bring this project to the world. I really hope that, and my intention is for it to touch millions of people's lives, to inspire millions of people, to give millions of people hope that if I can do it, that if these people, these real people that I'm sharing, that they're giving out like 2 hours of their time to do these interviews that I am creating into these podcasts, they're giving their time away and for you, to inspire you, to give you hope, to share that if they can do it, you can do it too. This is a really amazing, beautiful, genuine, life-changing project, and I really can't wait for the podcast to go out and for the website to be ready for you. I've got a lot of work to do on the podcast and the website in November. I really want the website to be finished by the end of November. Who knows? Like that's my time frame, but who knows what's actually going to happen? And but no matter when it happens, it's going to be amazing, because every single one of the people on this that I've interviewed have been amazing, unique, completely different, and have profound messages and blessings to share with this world. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to be interviewed for the project, then please do get in touch with me via Facebook. I've got all the links in the description below, and have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much.